Okay, so this first video is just on some training that we did where I was just reviewing some of the things that we've been working on in the past couple of months. Also, quick apologies for the poor sound quality. My newer microphone isn't working right now for some reason, so I had to default back onto my old one. Anyhow, so in this first clip you can see me doing what I like to call keep your eyes on me, which is basically just a technique where I move away from the horse in a way to where they have to actively work to keep both eyes on me. And as you can see here, Bugsy's doing a pretty good job, working really hard to keep her eyes focused on me at all times. And I do this just to reaffirm with horses that they do have that ability. Then we started working on a little bit of backing up. Bugsy's really bad at backing up. These first two tries were actually pretty good. There was a lot of slack still in my lead rope reins. And then she decided that she wanted to bulk up against the rein. So what I do to correct her on that is just, after I readjust my reins, so I have two hands, I keep constant pressure on one rein, which happens to be the left rein for her. Just because that's her more stiff side when it comes to things like backing and stopping. And then keeping that same consistent pressure on the left, with the right I bump her, where basically I'm just taking the rein and doing little jerks on it. Not hard, just gentle, tiny jerks. And I do that just because Bugsy likes to bulk up against consistent pressure. She doesn't really like to respond to it, so if I give her more of a annoying pressure that amplifies every now and again, which is what the jerking does, then she seems to respond to it better. She still has the consistent pressure, so it's not like she's getting any release, but that just seems to work best for her. I tried bringing her closer to the camera here to see if you could see what I was doing, and you couldn't really tell. So we're moving on to something else. Always remember to give your horse lots of pats and scratches. Bugsy gets plenty during our training sessions. I'm not exactly sure why I decided to do this. I just figured, hey, let's walk underneath Bugsy, because why not? And then I decided let's do a figure eight, again, because why not? I don't recommend doing this, especially if you don't know your horse very well. I do this kind of stupid stuff all the time with Bugsy, so I know she's not going to have too much of an issue with it. But again, I am not in any way advocating that anyone does. This is a really dangerous thing to do with your horse, so yeah, do as I say, not as I do, so don't do that. So then we're back to actual training shit, because yeah. So all I'm doing here is just working on Bugsy standing for mounting and saddle training stuff. That's what we've mostly been working on. So all I'm doing here is just jumping up and down and waving my arms around a little bit, flailing a little. And that's just because when horses are first being saddle trained, they don't always understand that when your height changes, it's not something to be afraid of. So you do this to desensitize them to your height training, and also the flapping your arms thing, which I don't know what I was doing there, but whatever. It just gets them used to, in case you fall or you lose your balance and you flail a little bit while you're getting up. And then there I'm just, pushing on her back a little bit so that she feels that little bit of weight. And I am very much out of shape, so I got real tired real quick. But yeah. One thing I didn't show in this video, or that I didn't do this day actually, was working on cinching, which was just taking the rope around her heart girth and tightening it, and then releasing it. But instead, I decided to throw the rope over Bugsy and yell at her as I was doing this to try and scare her, because I don't know why, I just like doing that with her because she puts up with me so well. And there I'm laughing hysterically because I find it so funny. But yeah, she does really well with my shenanigans, actually. So then here I decided to test out and see how her standing for tying, or her ground tying I should say, is doing. And here I'm trying to entice her to come after I told her to stay. And she did exactly what I wanted, which was very, very good. And then again, we're back to me doing silly, stupid shit. Yeah, so I'm just gonna fast forward through all this stuff. It's just me being silly with my horse. Not a whole lot of training left in this video. So then this next clip is actually of something that I've been working on with Bugsy a little bit. She has been doing this thing where she decides that she wants to rush the gate with my boyfriend and almost run him over, which is not good. So there you can see she's standing very quietly at the gate waiting for me. And then we're going to do a come about, which is basically where she just turns all the way around and faces the gate for me. She got a little stuck in the gate there just because I was asking her to come forward, but not a whole lot because the camera was very close to where her feet were going to go, and I didn't want her stepping on the camera. And then in the last clip here, you see something that Bugsy and I have been working on for a while. The last clip before this one is something that we've always kind of done. So what I'm asking for here is I'm just asking Bugsy to yield her shoulders over so that I don't have to move around her to take her halter off. She has to move around me. I don't remember where I got this idea from, but I decided to try it out on Bugsy, and it's only been a couple of weeks, maybe a month, that I've been working on this. But it's only been like maybe 10 times we've tried that, and she's doing it pretty good already. So anyhow, guys, that was all that we had worked on that day. I hope you guys enjoyed. The next videos will actually have a little bit more training to them. This one was just kind of us goofing off and doing whatever.